Howdy folks, and welcome to a brand new reaction series. Today we're going to be starting up Hilda with season 1 episode 1 titled The Hidden People, and I am so excited to watch this, folks. I put up a series of 2 polls to figure out what the 2 next series I was going to be watching was, and the first series that won was Infinity Train, which I've already started. I've gone through half of it and, put it on pause, so I'm glad that won. But the second poll, far and away, Hilda won that one, and even in the first poll, there were a lot of comments that said, I want you to finish Infinity Train, but I really hope you watch Hilda next, and just a lot of love for this show. There was one adjective that kept being thrown around over and over again, that this is a very comfy show. So I don't quite know what that means. In my head, I'm kind of imagining that it's going to be somewhat similar in tone, in feeling to like Gravity Falls. So that's at least the preconceived notion I have of this one. But this is a Netflix series. It has 3 seasons and a movie. And I believe the 3rd season premiered in December of this past year. So it just finished up. So this feels like a really good time to get this going. Hopefully it's not completely out of the minds of folks just yet, but hey, what better time than now to start this up? I'm very excited. A lot of people seem to be really excited for me to get to this one, and myself as well. So I'm gonna scooch over here and continue on with the intro. I don't have any real predictions or anything for this series. No like bingo card or anything like that. I think we're gonna be good there. I don't know. I've done a lot of repositioning of the microphone recently for other stuff, so hey, forgive me if things aren't completely set up the way they typically are, but this looks like it's gonna be fine. Hey, if you're new here, hi, my name's Tallman. I do reactions to stuff. I just enjoy watching cartoons. So if this is your first time here, hey, please, first of all, thank you for being here. Second of all, if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy the reaction, please subscribe so you'll see when I put out more. And the best thing you could do for me is just go watch one more of my videos. Maybe the Creed video I just put out, should have just put out by the time this goes up. But also just check my playlist on my channel, see if there's any other shows I've reacted to that interest you. And also leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this one. I know a lot of people were excited for this one, so I'd like to see that reflected in the comments with some of the series that I just finished up. It was really nice to see names pop up time and time again, week after week in the comments. So if you're a Hilda lover, just say hi in the comments and tell me how much you love the show and how much I'm going to love it too once I get started. Speaking of getting started, one more plug. I almost forgot. In my armadillo mug, we got a chamomile tea. If this is as cozy of a show as y'all make it out to be, we are going to drink the coziest tea of chamomile to get us ready for this. I have Patreon channel memberships if you want early access to these, uncut reactions over on the Patreon. Go check that out, links in the description. Go follow me on Twitch, join my Discord. There should be links to all that in the description below. And now, I think I'm done with the plug. The intro, one of my shorter intros I tend to do, but they'll only get longer as we go on here, folks. But let's get started with Hilda. It threw me off for a second. It says Chapter 1 down here. It says Hilda E1, Chapter 1. Season 1, Episode 1, The Hidden People. Starting up in 3, 2, 1, go. And I believe I saw that Grimes does the intro song for this. That's a cute little cast of characters already. I like this intro. And I love the usual, like, how she was just kind of, like, running from frame to frame as all the things are passing her by. I like that. Short and sweet. I am going to pause before the episode proper starts, just to say, the one thing I do know about the series is that Hilda herself is voiced by Bella Ramsey, who I believe uses they, them pronouns. So if I mess up at all, seeing as how Hilda is probably going to be she, her, I am assuming pronouns here, sorry. But I'm going to do my best to keep the she, her to Hilda and the they, them to Bella. So if I manage to screw that up, please go easy on me. Just know that I'm keeping that in my mind at all times. But I'm only human, right? And one other thing I wanted to say is that the creator of the show, Luke Pearson, I'm not very familiar with his work, but a friend of mine did send me a horror short that he put on YouTube last year, right around Halloween time, which was pretty creepy. So I don't know if we're going to get any real horror vibes in this series. I'm thinking maybe, but maybe not. It looks like there's a lot of mythology stuff just from like the couple episode titles that I saw. But hey, if it ventures into the creepy at all, I'm here for that. I love horror stuff. And that short was pretty good. Go check that out. I forgot what the YouTube channel is called, but you can probably find it if you search for Luke Pearson on YouTube. It's a good short. I'd check it out. But hey, let's get back into it for the episode proper now. Seeing as how this is a first episode of a series, I gotta call out the art style already. It's storybook, but a different kind of storybook than I've seen in things like Infinity Train and Over the Garden Wall, which I have watched. It's very beautiful looking. I love the color palette and just how everything looks. Very lovely. Who is that cute little thing? I love the music already too. Oh no, a personal snow flurry. I feel like the Kirby shirt was a good choice to wear for the first episode here. Is that another creature just with a long Pinocchio nose? Or, oh, what's his name from One Piece? Usopp. He's got that Usopp nose going on.
See that twig? It's a troll rock. Trolls don't usually come this far down the mountain.
I guess they are British, aren't they? Bella Ramsey. Because I guess they were in Game of Thrones as well.
Don't worry, boy. This troll can't even think about eating us right now. As long as there's daylight, it's just a rock.
But Last of Us is what I know them best from.
If the troll moves,
where they were very American.
Then we'll know it's time to run for our lives.
This is so cute. Also, I was paying attention to what she was saying. Oh, it's already difficult, the pronouns thing, but I'm doing my best. What Hilda was saying about that being a troll, it'll awaken at night. They are spending a lot of time around this thing, though.
Done. I think I'm happy with that.
It's better than I could do.
Maybe one more.
Perfectionist, I see. Oh, there it goes.
There. That's much better.
Show us. Oh no, that's worse, actually. Ooh.
Time to go.
Hey, you spent the whole last day there? I really like the animation, too. It looks almost like a Sunday morning comic strip in the paper come to life, which I think this was based on. I think Luke Pearson originally made this as I don't know if it was a comic series or a graphic novel series.
I think we outran him. What is it, boy? Whoa, that's a huge footprint.
It is. Hey, just like the Gravity Falls intro, right? Just trying to get a feel for like kind of the pacing and the kind of what tone I should be expecting going forward. Also, once again, this nighttime color palette, but we still have a lot of like lighter colors being emphasized. Less so here. Change of scenery.
We lost him in the woods, boy. Or maybe not.
Does it want to be a friend? Or is it gonna freeze up in the light? Or does it just want to play?
Easy, boy.
Aww. Oh, it doesn't like the bell. I mean, how would you feel if you had a bell hanging off you at all times?
Crazy, poor thing. I can fix this.
I can fix him. Yeah, there you go. Happy boy? Gentle giant. Oh no. That's just how he says hello. Aw, the book, the journal.
Oh, my sketchbook. Thanks.
I can see why y'all are saying this is like a super comfy feeling show. Super cozy one. Should have got a blanket to just curl up with, except the longer this goes on, we're going to be cutting into summer in Houston.
Traumatic, but such is the life of an adventurer.
It's gonna be way too hot for blankets. How's that for an opening scene? Oh wow, that was like a cold open, I just realized. Chapter 1, The Hidden People. I'm also really curious to see if this is going to be something that has kind of a running plot as we go, or if it's going to be mostly episodic.
I am seriously appreciating the coziness in here right now.
Same. So I believe it's just her and her mom. And a Deku.
The woodman comes in without knocking. It's rude.
We're lousy with firewood now because of him. Hey, isn't that just like kind of like...
He probably just wants to get warm. He brings us wood.
It's drafty in here. You should really close that door.
Oh, he speaks. I was gonna say, is that like, I wanted to say cannibalism, but like fratricide almost.
Now what?
Him seemingly being made of wood, throwing the wood into the fire. He's like, I always hated this guy. Oh,
It's another one of those tiny letters.
Good grief. This is the 6th one this week.
so this kind of stuff just happens normally to them, huh?
Yes, it is.
They're still saying that we have to move and they're going to smash our house and stuff.
Basically.
Oh,
Who are these people?
Well, they're tiny and they don't like us very much.
they're
Well,
borrowers.
I don't like them. Dear to
Her name
whom
is
it may concern,
Arietti.
Please leave us alone. We are nice people, so please stop being mean. All the best.
I can't read with all these distractions.
Good night to you too.
He'll come back tomorrow. Also, they're playing Settlers of
Let's finish our
Catan.
game of Dragon Panic.
Dragon
Is it
Panic.
my turn next or yours?
Mine.
It looks like Catan with the hexagons. I love Settlers of Catan. God, I want to play now. I had a friend group and we literally played like every week together. Like we would get together and we'd stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning drinking and playing Catan. Are they gnomes? If they are gnomes, this is Gravity Falls.
We shall now implement your forcible eviction from...
Tiny but mighty, it seems.
Jettison the Giant!
Not the TV. No, not the TV. I'm also curious as to what time period this takes place in, because that's an
All right.
old TV. Like, and I haven't seen much in the way of other technology.
Get out.
Hilda, we can't stay here. Not if this is going to keep happening. I think we'll have to move to Trollberg.
We've been here for all time, since I was born. Please, Mum, I don't want to live in the dirty old city.
Just the dirty old dirt woods.
Why are you so mad at me and my mum? Please tell me so I can fix it and we can all live in peace. All the best, Hilda.
That super passive-aggressive sign-off. All the best, but I hate you. Once again, I love the color palette of the nighttime. Just the super muted, like almost monochrome. Kind of like, I know Hilda's hair is blue, but it's just kind of a, it's gray right here. I think that's my favorite thing about the art style so far is just the use of colors and the palettes that they're using for everything. I mean, yes, the animation is nice.
Who's there?
I'm one of the little people who trashed your house.
Get out.
I'm the only nice one.
I'm more of a writer than a fighter.
The only nice one.
Did you read my note?
Indeed.
Wait, am I dreaming? You sound like you're just a voice inside my head. So why won't you show yourself?
Oh, my people take the business of who sees them and who doesn't very seriously, which means, of course, that there's a lot of paperwork involved.
So I'm personally not worthy then.
Kind of paperwork.
I took the liberty of filling out the relevant papers for you. I think you'll find the
Oh, they're so
forgery
little.
quite impressive.
Indeed. I don't...
Your ear.
I was gonna say,
Louis!
oh, they're
You're
cute.
very, very small.
I'm on the tall side for an elf, actually. So,
Oh, they're
my name
elves.
is Alpha.
Okay.
It's nice to finally see you, Alpha.
They're like reverse vampires. They can only be seen in the mirror.
Wow. This is amazing.
Is it a whole encampment? Oh. Or are they like, did they like build their house on top of like a sacred site? Or
Careful there,
oh,
Twig.
intangible.
These been here all the time, and I just couldn't see them.
Correct. Careful with that. Somebody lives there, you know.
Whoops.
Yeah, whoops, indeed. Look,
Yeah, how would you feel?
there's 15 counties in this valley alone, and your house is smack in the middle of my one.
But why get mad now? My great-granddad built that house. I've lived here all my life, and there hasn't been any bother.
It's the new Prime Minister. He promised to get rid of you if he was elected, and
Okay.
now that he has been, he has to see to it that he does.
No boots. Technically, she's obeying. She is out there in her socks, right?
I'll arrange a meeting with the mayor of the town your house is currently occupying. I'll come for you tomorrow. Good night, Hilda.
It sounds so convoluted. Also, I just kind of loved his little as he ran off. It's so convoluted. Why not just go to the...
What the...
Is that the giant troll that's gonna... Oh, no. That's even bigger. How can one that big just simply, like, disappear? What a night, right? As soon as she closes her eyes, it's daytime.
Now remember, allow me to handle the introductions.
Oh no, she's wearing the boots now. Her boots kind of look like, just in the way they're drawn, kind of the same as Connie from season 1 of Steven Universe, when she wore those big ol' stompers.
Honorable Mayor, may I have the pleasure of...
Oh, I know who you are.
What's
the
he riding?
giant, the menace. We've had enough of her ruthless occupation of our historic city, haven't we, Angelina? Oh, yes.
Also, I have super tiny handwriting, so that tiny little papers to sign would be no problem for me.
Pure ignorance.
You're invisible.
That's a valid point, though.
You're alarming my cat.
Well, look, I'm
Oh,
sorry
that's a
about
cat,
that, but
is it?
please, don't evict us.
Angelina's heavily pregnant. I don't want her
Ugh.
unnecessarily stressed. You look the way I feel.
You're not
Wait, she's heavily pregnant, can't be stressed, but he was riding her?
Well, only the mare. It's out of my hands. And I don't even have hands.
So whose hands is it in?
I love in shows. I love in shows like this when they acknowledge, oh, that cat had a
It's the
butthole.
new prime minister. It's his big idea.
Okay, I'm just gonna pause real quick, just because his little joke where he said, "We don't even have hands." I love in shows when they acknowledge like the limitations of the animation or the stylings of the animation to make jokes about it. To a lesser extent, kind of like the running like no thumbs gag from Infinity Train's first season. But now that I'm legitimately trying to think about it, I can't think of. Actually, I can't think. Another very similar joke in VeggieTales when I was a kid. You know, they were just little vegetables that hopped around and everything. They didn't have hands or anything like that. But there's one that I distinctly remember at one point. A character like gives some presentation or does something, and you hear applause, and all the characters are just like standing there, and one like leans to the other and says, "How are we clapping?" And it's like, I always thought that was the funniest thing. So just the fact that he's acknowledging the fact that he, you know, just has like, you know, lines for arms is, I love it. I'm enjoying this show so far. I love the little animations, like his little legs going as the guy runs. Like I said, the color palettes are what I'm noticing a lot and enjoying. But I'm just generally just kind of enjoying this. Like I said earlier, I see why y'all are saying that this is a very cozy show. And let us carry on with the last third or so of the episode.
Tell me, please.
No, I... Oh, Angelina! Oh, you beast! Release her this instant!
Tell me where the Prime Minister is.
Careful, she's gonna have
And I can
babies in your
give you
hair.
for it.
Behind the waterfall... The great
See, look at
big
his
one
little
that goes
legs
into the
going
field.
whenever he shuffles. I
know
love
where
it.
that is.
Oh, thank goodness.
The basket, sir.
Oh, there, Angelina, there.
Oh,
Prime
traumatized.
Minister.
I'm wondering if that
Business right now, Alpha.
Alpha,
Don't need a
that's
formal
his name.
introduction.
I wonder if he's gonna be a companion or like a one episode kind of thing. I don't know what our core gang or what our core aesthetic is gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be like literally like a Monster of the Week kind of series, or like I said, if we're gonna get like a kind of an overarching plot.
It's the Prime Minister's cavalry.
Oh no!
Implement giant girl defense maneuvers!
Yeet the bunnies at her one at a time. Post haste. Twig?
Implement hasty retreat maneuver! Run away!
Post haste.
Faster, faster! Oh, she's gaining on us!
She's gaining on us. They're not even being
Thanks
chased.
for that, boy.
And once again, here in this darker
Training
cave,
complete.
the muted kind
Ready
of
to launch our next attack. The
grays and browns mostly in the color palette.
I mean you no harm. I just want to explain myself.
Oh, well,
Do they think
in
she's
that
just a
case,
boot?
Everybody be seated. Only said I'd get rid of you because I knew I'd get elected if I did. It's nothing personal.
Actually, it's 100% personal.
But I know stepping on you doesn't hurt you if you haven't signed the forms. I saw Twig's leg go right through a house.
Still, it's a traumatic experience having a giant foot come through your ceiling.
Not for Nickelodeon employees in the 90s. I'm ashamed of myself.
Your house, you and your family, since anyone can remember, have been considered sworn enemies of the king.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid to say that fixing the situation at this point is,
Out of your hands.
yes.
But you don't even
And I
have
don't
hands.
even have hands.
Yes, there we go. So how many fingers does Hilda have?
wait.
We got a 3 fingers and a thumb situation going on, it looks like. I like that shot with the hair animation too. I mean, I guess technically it's still going on, but I was specifically talking about the
If I
close-up
was to
profile
ask you
shot.
to tell me where the king lives, would you tell me? Or is it out of the question?
Also, these super thick lines. They look almost...
Yes, I'll take you.
It looks almost like Flash animation.
I will. But it's a tough
With how
journey.
thick and kind
I
of
need time to
jagged the
prepare.
lines look.
We can leave the day after tomorrow at sunrise.
Thank you, Alpha.
Not at all. It's actually closer to home than you might think.
You built your house on it. Oh, is that the whole first episode? Oh, wow. Just vibing to the... Okay. Got a little taste of the outro music. Wow, okay, so I guess we are... I guess we do have a bit of a running plot going on, which I guess... For shows that air on television, you know, especially ones that are kind of geared more towards kids, younger audiences, you know, this is probably rated, what, TVY7, okay. So, you know, for something that's rated something so, for younger audiences, right? For things that are on TV, you know, you have to kind of build your seasons in such a way where a kid can just turn on the TV, the show can be on, and you can just kind of watch it, right? That you can watch any episode in any order and kind of have an idea of what's going on. Some shows do things differently, like Steven Universe, I mentioned, Gravity Falls that I mentioned earlier. They, you know, have a bit of a running plot, but for the most part, there's a lot of episodic content here. So it's interesting to me that the very first episode does not have a proper conclusion, but being on a streaming service, you can get away with that. You can just kind of, you know that people are going to be watching in order because, you know, unless you're purposely going through the menus and skipping around on the episode list, you're going to be watching them in order, right? So I guess you can get away with it more is what I'm trying to say here with a streaming show, but it's just really interesting to me to have like no conclusion to the kind of plot of the episode as is. You know, not necessarily something I was looking for, but not necessarily required, is a really good hook. I always talk about Amphibia being the strongest episode 1 hook I've ever seen in a show, where you see that one of Anne's friends has been captured and is in a jail cell with a great big menacing toad saying, "Now we know that you've been lying to us. Now we know that there are more of you." And it's like, ooh, what does that mean? What's gonna happen? When's she gonna find her friend? It was like the strongest hook I've ever seen in a first episode. And this, while I do want to find out what's gonna happen with the king and everything like that, it, you know, isn't as strong of a hook for me. Obviously, yes, I'm gonna continue. I am gonna watch the rest of it. I don't believe in just like putting up one episode and being like, hey, I'll see how it does, and then I'll, you know, not continue the series if people don't watch it. No, I'm gonna be watching this whole thing, so it doesn't really matter how strong of a hook there is. But obviously, the fact that there still is continuation to the story at hand, I obviously do want to see how that's going to continue. Overall, my general first impressions are that I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say I loved it yet. Obviously, shows like this take time to build and to kind of get to know the world and everything. And episode 1 is always a sense of getting a feel for it and just kind of figuring out how the show is going to play out. Like, how funny is it going to be? How much action, drama, horror, suspense, all that kind of stuff. And I see that here it's going to be a lot of kind of whimsical, supernatural kind of stuff. Lots of monsters, creatures, all sorts of stuff, which I love. I guess we technically got a little bit of a tease with that super, super tall thing between the mountains that kind of blocked out part of the moon and then disappeared. I want to know about that. I want to know what that is. But other than that, we have just a tiny little, no pun intended, a tiny little story just about a girl and her mom and the elves that live all surrounding her that she couldn't see until she signed paperwork, which I think is super fascinating. That, you know, typically with mythological creatures kind of things, there's always, you know, they play by their own rules, and it's usually like mystical, magical, and here it was literally just signing a tiny little form, and then you can be seen. And I think that's so funny. yeah, there was some funny little jokes here, but it wasn't riotously funny. But it was interesting enough to where I would say that, you know, if I wasn't obligated, not technically not obligated, because like I said, I could just not do an episode 2 video, but, you know, for all intents and purposes, obligated to watch more, that I would be hooked and would want to see how this continues and moves on. Like I said, I was very impressed with the colors of anything. The animation was nice, but the colors themselves are what drew me in the most, and what I was kind of finding myself focusing on and trying to, like, you know, not necessarily piece together because it's a color palette. It's just, you see it and there it is, but just kind of like, ooh, just kind of seeing how all the colors work together in the nighttime bits, even how the cave was slightly different from the nighttime, even though they were both dark. We had a lot more browns in the cave, being more of a natural kind of environment, which I guess technically the woods outside was a natural environment as well, but, you know, being near the house and having the light and everything, we still had all the grays, really. And so, hey, it looks very nice. It's very pleasing to the eye. One episode in, and the best thing I understand is why y'all all said this was a cozy ass show, because I get that, like, immediately I get that feeling, and I completely understand, and I do agree. This is something I could definitely see being a comfort watch for people. Obviously, I'm only one episode in, so I don't know if stuff gets real as it goes on, but hey, I did enjoy it a lot. And I hope you did too. I think I don't have really anything else to say lest I start rambling, so I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to leave a like on your way out. And hey, leave a comment, let me know what you thought of this one. Did this episode hook you onto the series, or did it kind of take time for you to kind of get really into it? Because, hey, like I said, I'm already hooked. I'm already, like, you know, on the line to watch this thing, but I want to know what y'all think about it or thought about it when you started watching it. Hey, just without spoiling, give me some fake spoilers. I haven't really asked for those in a while, as we were kind of wrapping up Owl House and everything. Give me some fake Hilda spoilers. I don't know anything about the show. Give me some fake spoilers about the Woodman, about the creature. Give me whatever fake spoilers you want to give me. Go nuts with these in the comments, and I'm super excited to read those. So yeah, until next time, I'll catch you with some Hilda. Take easy, everybody.